still doing a live stream. Anyhow, welcome back to my channel. Connected with me right now. Luke will be here later. He's running a bit late. But go check out his channel. Big up to the Silt, big up to Wim. And before we went live here, bro, I was having a good day. I was having the best Friday of my life. University is done. I have exams, but like I have no class. And I decided, let's take this day off. I did not look at the Twitter. I did not look at the internet, any of that yet. I opened Twitter. And bro, my day is ruined. This is, it's the meme. It's a traumatized soldier meme. That is where I am at now. That is where I am at with this club that has just been taking the absolute wholesale piss ever since we won the treble, which Connect pointed out backstage when we were talking. And I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here, and then I'm going to let start. We have failed to sign Jude Bellingham because we failed to put a release clause in case we get relegated in his contract, which should never happen since the club has told us that we are not getting done on 115. So either they're lying to us or told to. But Man City did not want to pay the 105 million. Arsenal did. And that's why they got Declan Rice. We failed to pay up. It's a release clause, man. It's a release clause on Bruno Guimaraes, one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. He is never leaving Newcastle now that release clause is gone. Because guess what? They just won a trophy. He no longer has to go elsewhere to win trophies. He's got Champions League football. He's got a trophy. He can stay at Newcastle and win trophies. If we had bought him, he would have still wanted to come. Because at that point, he didn't have to believe in Newcastle getting consistent Champions League, consistent trophies. Now he does. We are allowing these players to shift their perspective away from us. People say players don't want to join your club. That is your club's fault. You need to convince a player. You need to go to a player and convince them of something. We convinced Robinho to come to a project from a club that hadn't won a trophy in his lifetime. Robinho had never seen us win a trophy when he came. He had not won a trophy since the day he was born. And he came to us. And I know that people talk about the meme that he thought we were Man United. I think some people actually believe that's true. It's a meme, but the same principle remains true all the same. These things, we convince players, they come to us. We convince Kompany, this is a good one, Vincent Kompany. His dad said, you're stupid, you're at Hamburg. Hamburg is winning trophies. Hamburg is in Champions League every year. Why go to Man City? And Kompany said, well, they convinced me. They gave me a good plan. That's what a good club does. You go to a player, you give them a plan, you convince them to come. And instead, we just make excuses. Oh, they don't want to come to City. We're not trying hard enough. If we are in for Florian Wirtz, we have 2 sporting directors, by the way, so we can focus on 2 deals at once. If we go in for Florian Wirtz, and we pull out before the transfer window even starts, because it might be too expensive, that is just not trying hard enough. If you think Wirtz does not want to come to Man City, give me one reason why. And don't tell me the style of play, because that means you want Pep Guardiola sacked. Let's be honest. If you say the style of play is why we can't get signings, then logically speaking, the new signings will be here for longer than Pep Guardiola. So if you're thinking long term, either you're not blaming Pep Guardiola for us failing to get signings, which I don't do either, or you're saying that Pep has to get sacked. It's a trap. It's a nonsensical statement. It's a trap that you put yourself in. We are a disgrace, as Liam just said here in chat. We are a disgrace in transfer window right now. Zubimendi has gone to Arsenal. Oh, but Zubimendi didn't want to leave San Sebastian, guys. He loves the mountains. Someone pull up the Hussam clip, and maybe I need to do that later. He loves the mountains in San Sebastian, bruv. He didn't want to leave Spain. And now he's at Arsenal. Why? Because a good sporting director went to him and said, hey, This is our plan. This is how you featured in it. This is how we are going to make you into a world-class player. This is how you will win trophies. This is how you will be recognized. And Zubimendi said, you know what? Yeah, I'm coming. That is what happens when you convince a player. You need to go to a player, grasp their heart, reel them in. When you don't do that, players don't want to come. That is an innate failing of the club to convince players. And if it's one player, okay. Sometimes you have a player that doesn't happen. Jude Bellingham, 1. Declan Rice, 2. Bruno Guimaraes, 3. Florian Wirtz, 4. That is 4 players. We were in for Dani Olmo before the Barca got him. Don't forget that. That is 5 players. When we fail to get Livramento, I'll predict that. That is 6 players in the span of 2 years in positions that we really, really needed, where we have failed to sign them. This is not 1 or 2 players. This is 6 players. So that's my rant done for now. Go ahead, Connect.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, a potential 6 players depending on how we do this window, of not getting anyone. You know, what really sucks is I think Livramento could really work at City. I think he looks really good, to be fair. He's played a load of minutes with Newcastle. He could play on either flank, and yeah, you've got to remember he's got Premier League experience. You know, we've signed Premier League right backs before. You know, that's what we did with Kyle Walker. And he went on to give us some great service. Obviously, it's ended a little bit sour. Not too sour, but yeah. Livramento, I think, is probably the guy we should get, but I don't think we're going to get him either, to be honest. I think Newcastle, like you said, Newcastle just won a trophy. They got Champions League football. Well, they basically do. I doubt they're going to lose it now. They got Champions League football. The Premier League, the world is at their feet in some respect. You know, they're ready to really go for it next season, I imagine. They're going to probably want to get out the group stages, or out the league phase of the Champions League, finish higher in the Premier League if they can, and maybe take another cup home. And if they can take another cup home, that's 2 trophies in 2 seasons. Why would some of the bigger Newcastle players want to leave? So yeah, I really don't think we're gonna get Livramento unless Newcastle somehow don't get Champions League.
I'd say they're already qualified.
Oh, is that like sealed and done now? Oh, then yeah, then they've got Champions League. That's one thing that's already ticked. Florian Wirtz, it's not only the fact we're not getting him, it's that but the most frustrating bit for me is that Liverpool can see that this guy is good and they are willing to pay the money. Just like Arsenal of Rice and just like Jude Bellingham and Real Madrid. Why aren't we willing to spend big money on big players? If they're the right guys, we should go for them. We're one of the richest clubs in the world when it comes to revenue. We pull in so much money from academy sales, and plus just regular player sales on a whole, we're pulling in tons. And we're not willing to scrape some pennies around to bring in one of the biggest talents in Europe right now. KDB, when we signed him, was one of the best in his position, and that's why we signed him. We should be doing
70 million back then. It's probably more expensive than what Florian Wirtz would have been right now, if you adjust for inflation.
Yeah, 70 million back then. He was one of the most expensive signings in Premier League history at the time. Now it's a bit further down, but like you say, 70 million back then, that's probably over 100 million now. And we're just not willing to step up to it. You know, Reinders, I think, is a good signing, and I think that's going to be good. I think we're actually going to get Reinders. I'm pretty confident on that. But, like, oh gosh, blinking, we're missing out on big players, and they're going to teams that are directly competing with us. It's so frustrating to watch.
Every team in Europe is directly competing with us, by the way. When people say, oh, he's going to Barcelona or going to Real Madrid, they're not competing with us. The Champions League, sorry, are we not in that? Did I forget something? But we are directly competing with every big club in Europe. If they are in Champions League, we are directly competing with them. Every club in Europe that is in Champions League. Club Brugge is in Champions League next season. That's already confirmed. So we're competing with Club Brugge. And at this rate, I would take each and every Club Brugge midfielder at Man City. And I'm not even joking. The Club Brugge midfield is better than the Man City midfield. Yashari is not world class, but really has potential to become so. Hans van Aken is one of the best players to ever stay in the Belgian league. And Onyedika is a decent third option. He's kind of like Matheus Nunes. He's like, That is a better midfield than what Man City currently has. How does the second in the Belgian league have a better midfield than Man City? And we just, and we just decide, let's not buy anyone. Instead of buying Florian Wirtz, instead of trying to buy Florian Wirtz, instead of spending money on Declan Rice, instead of going out and buying these top players, you know what we'll do? We'll go sign Rangers because he's the cheapest option, because AC Milan is financially fucked, and that's where we'll leave it. That's where we'll leave it. And maybe we'll get Morgan Gibbs-White just to make up for the homegrown stuff, a squad player, but we'll start starting him because we have nobody else. It's a mess. Connect, who do you have on the back of your Ajax shirt? I believe it's a no-name shirt, right?
Yeah, it's blank, I'm afraid.
Rebuilding, so what are we doing here? If Arsenal, by the way, gets Gyökeres, forget anyone else, just Gyökeres, they're immediately the best team in the Premier League. Now, Liverpool is going to add that, so I'm not including what Liverpool adds. But like, if you look at just this season's Arsenal with Gyökeres would have won the league title. So they're going to go and add that. Okay, Liverpool is going to add Wirtz, of course, and they're going to add some other players. But what are we adding? Nothing. We're falling behind. And people are looking at this. People are telling me Pep Guardiola is able to pull in players. I'm sorry, we're not 2018. Players are no longer looking at Pep Guardiola as the go-to guy. Because Pep Guardiola's record with world-class players, Haaland, what became of his reputation? Jack Grealish, what became of his reputation? Doku, what became of his reputation? Savio, what became of his reputation that he had achieved in one season, by the way, in La Liga? All attacking players, their reputation gets worse if they come to Man City. Why would an attacking-minded player be like, yeah, I want to play for the Pep? It makes no sense. It makes no sense for an attacking player to do that. If you want to win the Ballon d'Or, and you look at where Haaland has gone through the Ballon d'Or power rankings, the more he's under Pep, the more he gets worse. So why, if you want to win the Ballon d'Or, play for the Pep if you're an attacking player? Now, you can say for, okay, defensive midfielders, sure. Wirtz is not a defensive midfielder. We don't need a defensive midfielder. So every other position on the pitch consistently gets worse on that Ballon d'Or voting power ranking. So it's an utter mess, it's an utter mess. Big up Liam. I had a bad feeling about this window. As soon as it was announced, Chiki changed his mind and was staying. Get to the player's house. Yeah, we need to go to the player's house, bro. We need to go to the player's house. We need to drag them out of their houses, and we need to bring them to Manchester, bro. We need to show them the fucking roads in Manchester. You see this glorious dog shit road. Probably has 3 potholes in it. You see this road. This is where you could be living. You really want to live, and you're muted, by the way. You're muted.
Hello. There you go.
Hello. Do you really want to live in some big, beautiful city over in Germany or in Barcelona, Spain, whatever? No, you want to live in this city with a bunch of potholes. Come here. Anyhow, yeah. Brown envelopes are loading in St. Giles, I hope so. League title won by brown envelopes. We will be there. I'm ready. Manchester City have pulled out of the race. Wait, what? Man City have pulled out of the race for signing Livramento.
Read the whole message. He's not saying that's news, by the way. Read the whole thing before you. He's
okay.
Say in the future what he thinks.
Maybe I'm panicking here too much. but this is what I'm predicting, though. Yeah.
At the end of the day,
at the
end of the day, right? The club know what they've got to do.
Do they?
Like, with Wirtz, at the end of the day, I don't give a shit about that. The reality is, if he doesn't come to us, fine.
No.
But the reality is,
this is what I said earlier, and answer me on this. I'll let you have the words for those minutes while I read the chat. if a club cannot convince players to come, is that on the player or is that on the club? Now that's 6 players in a row. Jude Bellingham, what's his name? Bruno Guimaraes, Declan Rice, now Florian Wirtz. I'm predicting we'll fail to sign Tino Livramento. That's 5 players, not 6. I'm not sure who the 6th was that I said earlier. That's 5 players in a row that we failed to convince. Is that then on the club or is that on the player?
The club. And well, players got to say as well, not every player will come to City. Let's get that way now. But the problem is the style of play we've got right now ain't good enough. I'm sure first thinking, why would I want to go to City right now when the style of play is so restrictive of attacking players? Like you say, well, we'll be better next year. Well, we're hoping it is. But the reality is, Pep hasn't changed very much this year. He put my, like, that Bournemouth game, right? Bournemouth did not sit back. So they were able to score a goal. Marmoush's goal was one of. Well, I wish they like in the final, mate. In the final, just have a shot, start shooting more. Because the amount of times the Pep tells the players to keep passing it, passing it into oblivion, and no one. And in the end, that's what other teams want. If we want to get back to winning again, we got a sort of style of play out. That gives you more players.
Before I answer that, thank you for the grades. Big up to everyone who came over from that. Apparently, no player should be more expensive than Pep. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. No player should cost more than Pep, or I'm not sure what you mean by that. Or I'm just saying no player should be expensive. Anyhow, besides the point.
At the end of the day, no one is bigger than the club. We will still be here when Pep goes. A lot of people in this fan base are actually Arsenal fans for Pep. They really are. Oh, if Pep goes, the fuck. No, we're not.
Where
I'm saying this right now.
At this rate?
Because if you say right, oh, Pep's not doing this right, you get called names under the sun by a few people, even creators that on this pod. I'm not going to say names, but implied are other active people on Twitter and YouTube when we're being smouthy and so horrible to people who don't agree with their opinion. Especially with Pep. Oh, I want Pep out. You're not a real City fan. Blah, blah. No, look, everyone is saying Pep must go, but the reality is Pep needs to improve his style of play. Next season is huge. If you don't have mistakes this season, he's going to put down even more. I say the more next year we don't get back into competing, the more the fan base will start to turn.
I agree.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say. Yeah. First of all, I do think Pep has to go because this rebuild does not happen with Pep Guardiola. We say the style of play has to change. Pep will not change his style of play. He said he won't change it. He said he wants a small squad, which we don't need a small squad right now. He is threatening the club to leave, and then he says, "Oh, that was a joke." Was it? Let's be honest. Was it a joke? No, it wasn't. This man is a PR disaster right now. He goes and says, "Yeah, I want Nagelsmann too." And I'll actually come back to that. Pep Guardiola was saying, when was it that he wants to harm himself or something like that, or do I want to hurt myself? Then he comes out and says it's a joke. Now he says this, it's a joke. He's a PR disaster at the moment. He is a PR disaster. He's absolutely taking the piss with some of the things he's doing. He knows that some of the tactics don't work and keeps repeating them because that's his style. And he's a narcissist. I think people need to understand this about Pep. He's a narcissist. And the reason why I say that is because the moment he comes up against heavy competition in La Liga, he runs away. And then the next season, by the way, they went Centurion, something they've never done with Pep. So don't tell me that we need Pep to be on that level. We just need the money and the players. But Pep Guardiola is concerned about how people perceive him. He's being called a checkbook manager. What is the worst thing for a narcissist? For their ego to be invalidated. That's what happens when people call him a checkbook manager. So he can't stand that. He wants to get that net spent down. He wants to look like he's the best manager with the least resources. So he will get that net spent down. He will get the cheap options. And he genuinely thinks that with those cheap players, he's going to go and win a league title. I'll tell you now, he's not. This is a team that was comfortably top 4. We're struggling to get top 5. That is where we are at. And I think we'll get top 5. But honestly, that's not an accomplishment. The rest of the Premier League was poor. We failed to win a single trophy. You can't say you can't win a trophy every year. When the competition is this bad, you should go farther in the Carabao Cup. You should go you probably should win a final against Crystal Palace. You should be comfortably top 4. You should, fuck that, you should be comfortably top 2. And you should get past the playoff stage in the Champions League. You should reach the round of 16, the quarterfinal. And people say, oh, we played Real Madrid. Why did we play Real Madrid? Because we lost a bunch of games in the Champions League against laughable opposition, let's be honest. We bottled a 3-goal lead against Feyenoord. These are problems we had last season. They're not changing. These are problems we have had since the start of the season. They are not changing. The only thing that is changing is these players don't want to leave the club on a low note. So they're pushing all their energy into these games. And we went out and signed 200 million in January, and we improved only slightly. Pep Guardiola is refusing to play any of the players except Marmoush, because he has no other choice than to play Marmoush. Imagine the meltdown if he doesn't play Marmoush and we lose a game. He can't do that. He just can't do that. So Pep Guardiola, he is not learning as a manager. When you are 55 years old, how old is he? 55, I believe, or 54? When you are this age, you do not learn anymore. You simply don't. He is not adapting as a manager, and football is changing rapidly. What this man needs is to get on a beach, chill out for a year, and then go read up football tactics and revise his philosophy around football. Because until that happens, he will not be good again. He is what Mourinho was at Man United. That is what he is. Same age, same situation, same everything, same downhill trend. And people will say, oh, but look at all the trophies he's won. He's not here for the past, he's here for the future. And if you don't like that quote, that's a Pep Guardiola quote. So hold that. If he can't do it in the future, he has to get out. I'm going to go on a lot of rants, by the way, today. I'm a bit emotional. My apologies. So I'll let you guys speak for a moment now.
Go that one.
Oh, yeah, I mean, similar to what Luke said earlier, next season is absolutely huge. I've been saying this season that I'm more than willing to keep Pep this season. It has been a drop-off, a huge drop-off, and a drop-off that we should not be seeing. But I've said that I'm more than happy to keep Pep this season with the hope and the praise that change will happen next season. If we are heading in a similar direction that we were December, November of this season, next season, then talk should happen. Okay, if we're genuinely just not improving, if we're still making poor signings, and everything like that, the conversations do need to be seriously had. I hate to be the guy to say that, but I do want to see improvement, because what I hate to see is just running into the same brick wall over and over and just hoping it's going to fall down. I don't mind when you try something and it fails, because at least you tried. Okay, and then you can give it, and then you can try something else. Okay, that is fine. If you're at least trying to do something, then I'm fine with it. But if there's just a refusal to change, a refusal to adapt to what the Premier League is offering us in terms of football, like you said, football's changing now. It's going through a change of sorts. And we have to adapt to it. We can't just keep thinking, we've won 6 Premier Leagues out of the last 7. We'll do it again just because we're Man City. We have to be ready to change.
We've won 5 out of the last 7.
Also, I'm sorry. News I've seen today about Reinders, apparently we've got a 10 million euro valuation difference. I swear, if he goes back to his method of, I'm not paying that, then we're fucked.
So, what is the exact news? What is the exact news?
Right. I will read out the thing on Twitter. So, about 7 minutes before the stream started for you guys. A difference of 10 million euros has emerged in discussion between City and Milan. City want to pay Reinders as 65 million euros, whereas Inter Milan wants 75 million euros. I'm sorry, right? This stinks of us pulling out the deal. We've got to stop. I'm sorry, right? We start doing this. Let's go down the path of running around the headless chickens again, and front players again. Get Ziki out the door. Viana must take over. Ziki can't do it, man. He's too much of a penny pincher. We're in this mess because of you anyway. We've got to buy players. Spend the money. Spend the money. Do it. You can't not do it. Sorry, I always sat here in the summer wondering who we're going to get in when we're running around trying to find players to get in. I'm sorry, this is ridiculous.
Better to pull out the game than Phil Foden.
God. It's 10 million. If 10 million is what cooks us on this Rangers deal, man, just give them add-ons.
I'm sorry,
man.
Cheeky, leave. Just leave. Why are you still here? You're meant to be gone.
I know.
Oh, but he's hanging out. Viana's here for a reason. Let Viana cook. Let him do his job. He can't cook. You're there.
Bro, this is Disneyland with all big family over here. With all big families, this is Disneyland over here. Herdable, by the way, big up. I think we have to sit down and really consider getting another top signing. One like Rodrigo, a proven player who can deliver from the get-go. Just one is not enough, in my opinion. We need to go get Ryan Cherki. We need to go get awards. By the way, that's like 130 million. 130
it's too
million.
expensive. No, it's not. It's PR copium. PR copium. This body club man won't spend the money.
Then Then you go get Rangers, which is 60 million, I believe. Rangers is 60 million if we're not tackling for the price. So we're at 190 million now. Then you go on and get Morgan Gibbs-White, which is also 70 million. You're at 260 million. You've spent about 40% more than we did in January. And you have, what? An entire midfield and front line fixed. And depth. Not just starting 11, depth as well. What are we doing here? We already have all the centre backs we need. You don't need to buy a centre back.
No.
We already have a backup left back if you want to keep Ake, sorry. That's a backup left back. Not always fit, but as a backup, it's okay, I believe. Yeah. So you need to buy one left back on top of that. And then you can either play a back three, like Pep likes doing, or you go buy another right back, which we're looking at Wesley for 30 million. So we're looking at maximum 100 million extra. That's not a lot, bro. That is not a lot in today's market. Your tweets are class, aren't they?
Oh, by the way, as well, right? I'm on my stream. Ever did a 20-minute straight biblical generational rant on this all, by the way. So if you want to do that after this stream, please do, because everything that we're saying right now, he said and backs up the whole issues with this club in 20 minutes. Which, by the way, doesn't sound like a long time, but trust me, we're all pissed off there because...
A 20 minutes rant when you're angry is very difficult.
Bro, honestly, it's well worth checking out after this stream. Obviously, just leave a like and subscribe here first beforehand. But this is what people are like, oh, but the season's still going. No, Liverpool getting Frimpong in. Everyone got him in. He ain't Kirkhead's done, and let's get Bert's done. Liverpool are moving serious here, whereas we're like wandering around left and right. Oh, Ryan, we'll get him. Oh, 10 million euros. I'm paying that. No, we're not doing this together, Jiki. It's your fault we're in this mess. I'm paying this mess.
I have a question. Do you think that without Pep Guardiola, we sign more players? That we sign more effectively? By the way, Jonathan Bah just signed for the Bayern München on a free. Jonathan Bah.
What fucking move? Tar, you mean? Tar, you mean?
Sorry, Tar. I was thinking about my start. Jonathan Bah just signed to Bayern for the free.
Oh, Bayern are looking at Leao and Matoma, bro. Both of them. Leao and Matoma. What we're doing?
I don't rate Liao,
Whoa.
to be fair, but Mitoma,
No.
you go
I
get
know.
him.
But
You
Liao
go
would
get
do best
Mitoma.
with a better team. Again, he might be even better than the company.
By the
We're
way,
at a point now where... Oh, I'm sorry. That's
they
kinda
have
right,
Brian
sorry.
Zaragoza. They have Brian Zaragoza already. That's third place.
He's
He's out
baller.
on loan. That's third place.
And Aaron Kunda. The other guy is a baller as well. They've got some...
Is he third player?
He's New Zealand, yeah. He's I think he's a academy player. Yeah, that's for Aaron Kunda, good player. Bro, these teams bro, are moving seriously. Whereas we're just, I don't know what we're doing.
We're
It's
falling
like
by the
again.
wayside. We're falling by the wayside. We forgot. This is the problem, bro. We won the treble and we think we're it. We want these players to love Man City. I'm gonna drop a shocker on all of y'all. De Bruyne was not a Man City fan when he came here. Neither
No.
was Bernardo Silva. Neither was David Silva. Neither was
None of
Aguero.
these.
Diaz, Rodri, our Ballon
Look,
d'Or winner.
Haaland is because Haaland.
Yeah,
is a
Haaland
centre-back.
is because of his stats. So that is one world-class player in our entire Premier League history. I won't go before Premier League. In our entire Premier League history, we have had one world-class player who is actually a Man City fan. You cannot go out and sign Man City fans. You know why? They don't exist. I know it sounds bad to say it, but Man City fans, they're not that numerous. Like, I'm sorry to say it, bro, but people think with Real Madrid when it's time to go convince a player to come to Man City, and then when it's time to actually spend money in the transfer window, they think we're fucking Burnley. They want the players to love us like we're Real Madrid, and they want us to act in the transfer window like we're Burnley. It doesn't make sense how people think about these transfer windows. If Bird doesn't want to come, convince him. Don't pull out, bro. Phil Foden doesn't pull out. Don't pull out of Words. Don't pull out of Rangers. Don't pull out of...
Fucking hell.
Don't pull out of Livramento. Go in for
Well-
these man, bro. They need a big club to come in and tell them, this is our plan. We want to spend money on you. Do you know how much confidence that gives a player when a big club goes to them and says, we value this high, you this high. We're not going to hand over the price because we value this at this amount. Do you know how much more that gives confidence to players? If Man City goes to AC Milan and they say, oh, the price is 60 million, let's say for example, and Man City is like instantly done, and then they tell Rangers, that was such a good price, you are so happy with that price. That gets Rangers confidence. That makes Rangers think, okay, these guys want me. That makes Rangers think, okay, they're gonna give me a
Haggling
bit
around does
extra.
nothing.
Yeah, haggling around does nothing. Look at what we did with Nico Gonzalez. We were haggling. Then we lost our game, instantly over the line. Release goes, bang, he's here. We need to stop this brain death. It's brain death, but it's suicidal. And people are saying, oh, we won't get Livramento because he will be 80 million. I tell you what, here, if we can get Livramento for 80 fucking million, go sign him. Homegrown, proven. I won't say he's world class, but he's very close to that tipping point of
Also-
becoming world class.
It's not our fucking money. Who gives a shit? Stop being accountants. You're not accountants. We want the players to come in.
I am
The
an
club have
accountant,
got
actually.
money. Still, you don't give a fuck. Spend some fucking money. You've been saving money up for fucking last 2 years. Spend some of the money. Honestly, otherwise we will be sat here fifth again, trying to get into top 5, top 4 again because this club won't spend some fucking money. Spend some fucking money and do it now. Oh, but wait, patience. Right, patience is all well and good. You got a plan in place. And cool. I'm patient.
There's a
But
difference
right
between
now-
patience and inaction.
Yeah.
So my head's just like, I'm sick of this club waiting around, doing the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. We've been here before. This before. It's the same story over and over again. Again, bored of the story. Just pay the fucking money. We players in.
By the way, Herdable has a question here for, well, he asked it to me, but I'll ask it to everyone. Alf, what player would you get now that Words deal is fucked? I would go back and go get that Words deal. Okay, I would try to go to Words and say right now, hey, Words, I still want you. Because Liverpool is trying to get that done before the end of, or before the start of transfer window. Transfer window hasn't opened yet. All deals now are verbal agreements. Go to Words right now and say, hey, we made a mistake. We need you. We're going to pay this salary to you. You're going to play this role for us. We're going to pay for you. Go get Words. Words is not fucked up. Words is only fucked up when he signs. Go get Words. If you fail to get him, go get Rodrigo. If you can't get him, go get someone else. Go get Chetty. Get Chetty anyway. He has a 25 million euro release clause. That's 21 million pounds. 21 million pounds release clause.
By the way, it was depressing. Liverpool are close to reaching agreement with Leverkusen for Wirtz. Oh, this fucking club. Just spend the fucking money. Honestly.
I would Wenger.
We've become Arsenal. We've become Arsenal. Yeah.
I've been saying it, bro. We are Arsenal. We are Arsenal lights. You seen the logo I posted out.
But we've won stuff, yeah. But we're acting like a small club here.
Arsenal won stuff too. Arsenal used to win stuff too. We will stop winning stuff. If we act like this, we will stop winning. That's the problem. You don't win trophies without spending money. Like that's simply the history of football. Why did Liverpool start winning trophies in the 70s? Because they spent money in the 60s. Why did Man United win trophies in the 90s? Because they spent money in the 80s. Why did Blackburn win that league title? Because they spent a fuckload of money. Why did Chelsea start winning trophies? Arsenal, money. The world goes around money, bro. You can't be here saying like, oh, we're not Arsenal, and then act like fucking Arsenal, bro. Arsenal stopped winning trophies when they did that, we're building a stadium thing and stopped spending money. That's when they stopped winning trophies. That is what's happening with us all over. Luis Enrique is clear. Enrique is not touching this club. He's about to win the treble with PSG. Enrique thinks, this club gives me everything I want, everything I need. I'm not leaving. And you know what, yeah? The moment Enrique stops performing, he will be gone. He will be gone. Because they have standards, their fans have standards, and I know people don't like the word standards, but if you want to pretend to be a big club, you have to have the standards of a big club. You can't sit here pretending to be a big club in every way except, I don't know, winning stuff and winning trophies and signing players. You can't sit here, give the banter, and then not back it up. It's barking without biting. Alf is waxing lyrical today. I'm not. Oh, here we fucking go again. Yep. Big up to Liam. Let's not forget the goalkeeper issue. Absolutely, a goalkeeper issue we should have addressed in 2019. We should have addressed that in 2019 when we realized that Ederson is dog shit. But we're still here with him. Oh dear. Connect is enjoying the Alf and Luke meltdown.
Oh man.
Connect, what do you have to say about our meltdowns?
They're valid. You know, it's just. I mean,
just chill out. No.
Yeah, like look at Liverpool. They look like they're about to have 3 signings before the Club World Cup, and they ain't even playing in it. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And we're struggling to get Rangers. You know, like come on. We're one of the richest clubs in the world when it comes to pulling in money. We have the money. Our academy sells for 20 million a pop. Like, come on.
Bro, Joe's funny though. Joe's funny. January, right? Fuck, Marmouche, we'll pay the money.
Yes.
Where's that attitude? We got Marmouche, and like, right, we'll get you in. Boom, we got you in. Where's the attitude to get this grinded? Right, what rubbish you want? That cool. A little under that, right? Cool, no worries. Pay it. Boom, get it done. Get this stuff done. I want this sorted by August, if possible. Not by Sorry, mate. I'm pissed off Australia with this team at times and this club at times. I don't think just get on with it. Get the players done.
We pulled out of Cambiasso, by the way. That's not a player pulled out. Yeah, but it's a principle that matters. We've not gotten anything over the line. We go in for the players, then we pull out. What is this? You know what I think is happening right now? Tiki wants one thing, Viana wants another, and they're fighting each other in the fucking dressing room. Well, in the boardroom. They can't fucking... These men don't know what they want, bro. It's an actual shit show. This is what happens when a manager has way too much control. Pep Guardiola leaving Man City, bro, I'll celebrate today, bruv, because I'm fucking tired of this shit. Respect for his, for what he's done for us can come a year after he's left, because I'm fed up with him. But 1 year after he leaves, one year after he leaves, I will be sitting here like, yep, legend, greatest we've ever had. Right now, Pep Guardiola has way too much of a say in our club. It's ruining our close certain future. Tiki, Viana, I don't know which one of them is jerking off doing nothing, but it's probably both. It looks like Gundogan and Bernardo Silva are both staying. You see that news, by the way? Gundogan and Silva are both staying.
Man, at least
we're talking about a rebuild. We're not doing a rebuild, Pep. You know what we're doing? We're doing what Pep wants.
We need to shift on. If this season told us anything, it told us that certain players, especially in that midfield, just can't do it. You know, do you remember when we were playing Gundo, Bernardo, Kova in that middle three, and it was in that November-December period? It was awful to watch. Okay, and it was an eye opener. You know, those three aren't good enough to start together. And I know Rodri wasn't there. I know if he was there, he would start. If Rodri's not there, I want a good player that can cover for him. You know. And we got Nico Gonzalez now. Hopefully he's going to really work out next season, because he hasn't really been given much this season. And with the addition of Reinders, I like it. But, man, you can't just... It's like Alf said, it's not a rebuild if you're not willing to move on players. You know, rebuilds are moving on players and bringing in new ones. You know, replacing the dead wood and bringing in fresh wood. You know, it's all about it's a rebuild. You know, you're tearing it down to build it back up, you know, to have something fresh. And if you're keeping 34-year-old Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, who is the recorded slowest player in the Premier League this season, and he's 30, by the way, you know, Ilkay Gundogan's recorded quicker than him. You know, and I think Kova's been solid this season, but he can't run a pivot with those two. Though at least one of Bernardo and Gundo have got to go. At least one of, you know, if not both. I'm all for keeping some of them, but to keep that winning mentality in the squad, you've got to keep some of your experience. But you can't just keep all of them. You're just clinging on to past memories almost.
You know what you make me think about when you were talking, Connect? You make me think about a Latin quote. Excuse my terrible pronunciation. Ab sine rebus resurget, and that means from the ashes we will rise. But first you have to burn the house down. If you're keeping the house standing, like this is a house that's breaking down, and you know what we're trying to do? We're trying to add a pillar here or there. That's what we're trying to do. Burn the house down, burn it down, throw it down to the floor and set something completely new. Break the foundation, set new ones. Completely new squad, completely new players. But here's the thing, yeah? Completely new ideas. Uncomfortable conversations. Can you have a rebuild? Can you have a recreation of a team when you have the same manager who is unwilling to change his ideas? In my opinion, you can't. And I know you two disagree with this. I know you two both want to keep Pep. I honestly want to ask you guys, do you think Pep Guardiola wants to see all of these players leave?
I think no. There's definitely some players that he loves Bernardo, and like he'd definitely play Bernardo almost every week if he could. There's no way he wants to get rid of the volume of players that we're talking of. You know.
So is Pep then not part of the problem?
Yeah,
to an extent, yeah, he is absolutely.
Bro,
by the way, Villa. Yeah, go on.
At this point, right, the club is bigger than any manager or player. Always will be. At the end of the day, right, I want to hear that. Be careful what you wish for. You're a fake fan. All that kind of stuff. I'm going to hear about this. If we have to move on players, manager, get better and better again, so fucking be it. Oh, but Pep is the best manager I've ever had. He is. Factual information, he is. But at some point, we've got to move forward at some point. Oh, but we can get worse. When we get worse, we get worse. Football is not guaranteed anything. It's how you put in we get out of it. And that's where I'm at. Like, I need the club making changes, refreshing the squad, refresh, not just a little bit, a full rebuild, refresh, players out, players in, new start, we go again. That's what we need. You can't be doing this whole waffling about for the one player. How is it? By the way, right? Liverpool almost 3 weeks goes as a winning league title, and we're still waiting for our players to get done. Oh, but we've got medical sorted out apparently. Really? Do we? Well, so far, no. At the moment, I need to see proof of this. I need to see proof. My head's going because I'm just sick of people just acting like be angry at this. That's where I'm at. I'm sorry. That's where I'm at. And where my head's at. I need to see this club showing some fucking balls again.
You know what else well with Pep Guardiola? He doesn't want Grealish to leave. He does not want Grealish to leave because he's a senior member in the dressing room. Yeah,
he has to go.
But Pep doesn't want him to leave. He's a senior member in the dressing room.
Either good enough. Get him gone.
Yeah, but Pep doesn't hate that, bro. I agree, but Pep doesn't give a fuck. Pep is half the problem at this club, man. I swear it down. I've been saying this in Spain, man. Today he gets sacked, yeah? Because I predict right now, next season, if we don't win 4 out of our first 5 games, I think he'll be sacked. If we go like winning 2 games, drawing 2 games, losing another, I think he'll be sacked. Especially if he loses that game as the 5th game, I think he'll be sacked at that point. So you get this guy. Yeah? If he is sacked next season, go get Zidane, because Zidane, hear me out here. Zidane, youth project at Real Madrid, won La Liga. First role ever at Real Madrid with a failing team, trophyless, 3-peat Champions League. This manager can get a team over the line. He's never done anything long term, yeah. But you get him in. He wants to go for France after the World Cup. So you get Zidane in now until after the World Cup. Then Zidane leaves because he wants to go to France. Who becomes available after the World Cup? Nagelsmann. That's the guy we want. So you can get an in-between manager there to handle your transition to handle your rebuild. Then you give Nagelsmann a ready-made squad. But instead we're stuck here with Pep Guardiola. He's our Wenger man, and Villa are getting Chevalier. Teams that are not in rebuild are signing more players than us in rebuild. Connect's Ajax shirt is empty, by the way. Wim, it's blank. Get Pep to Turkey. Get him to Turkey. He needs a hair transplant. Get him to who is Galatasaray, or is that where Mourinho is? Or is Mourinho at Fenerbahce?
Well, honestly, right. This season's been so stressful, man. I need a break from this club. I really do. I need a break from this club.
You don't get a break. That's what's so lovely about the Friday show.
I'm locked in.
I am reeling you back in.
80 years. Great. Woohoo. We've got 80 years on this bollocks.
I'm reeling you back into the Blue Friday show.
Trust process. No, 8-year process. Yeah, it's clear. 80 years time. We haven't got this player.
Silva, Gundogan, McAtee. Yeah, bro, don't give me nightmares. Brown envelopes FC on Sunday. Maybe Man City can start sending some brown envelopes. That might get us somewhere, actually. Cercle Brugge winning against Patro Eisden. Shocker, that's 6-1 on aggregate. Give Simone Inzaghi a chance. Bro, Simone Inzaghi would have gotten us second in the league with this exact same team. He could have won the league with this team. I don't think he would have. But I think he could have put it on a title race until the end of the season. And with how Liverpool is kind of dropping off right now, honestly, I won't be surprised if Inzaghi stunk out a league title. Because Inzaghi has something to prove. Pep doesn't. After he did the 4-peat, he's done everything that Cruyff did. Think about this shit. What has Cruyff done that Pep never did? 4 in a row. Johan Cruyff, his master, that taught him everything. He's just done what his master did. Why bother? That was the greatest thing Johan Cruyff ever did, they said. Okay, he's done it now. He's got no more reason to play football, man, or to manage football. He's just sitting here. It's just here for the sake of it. If you're just here for the sake of it, don't be here. Actually be here because you want to win trophies. But yeah, I agree. We should give Simone Inzaghi a shot. He will get us competing in all competitions rather than out before the round of 16. I have never seen Club Brugge further in the Champions League than Man City, by the way, until this season. Think about that. Until this season, I have never seen Club Brugge further in the Champions League than Man City.
Oh god, just really shows it, doesn't it?
Guys,
I'm not going to go off on Gladys right now because people on Twitter. I feel so sorry for Haaland. Honestly, if I'm Haaland, I want out. I'm going to be honest. If I'm Haaland, I would want out.
Right.
Because this manager is ruining his career.
Mate, Yamal right now, I'm Haaland, mate. I wouldn't. Oh, but there's negative. Well, it's the thing, right? You've got one of the best strikers in the fucking world, Ballon d'Or contender. Back him. The manager is bigger than the club.
Absolutely.
The moment fans get a grip of that, then we can go, oh, but you know what? Done that. Like, yes, I love Pep for what he's done. I'll always love Pep for what he's done. I always will. I love Pep so much, even now. But Alf does as well. People think that Alf hates him. No, you don't hate him.
I do hate him right now, just because he's ruining my day. But when he's gone, I will love him again. I just hate him until he leaves. You get what I'm saying? It's like agenda. It's like an agenda. I'm spreading hate until he's gone. And then I love him again.
Shameless. Yeah, that's you. But the thing is,
I hate him until he's sacked.
I love nothing more than to Pep turn it around. Absolutely would. We all fucking would. We all would love to turn it around. But the thing is, he's still making mistakes over again. He's still not changing his tactics. Like, people say, oh, but people were 3-1. Bournemouth went for it, they part the bus. Where was the low block? We're fucked. Because right, pass.
We were playing against a team that was on the beach. That's the difference. When we come up against a team that still has something to play for, we crumble. We can't get it over the line. When we play against a team that's on the beach, just like, yep, chill. Oh, now we can win because we're running at 100 miles an hour. They're just standing there like, yeah, okay. And they still scored a goal against us, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, bro, a bit of positivity. By the way, big up to you for hitting a veteran subs recently. Big up to you, man. On the 1K. What on the way there? On the way there. Come on. By season, by August, get into 1K. Come on. That should be the aim. Get 1K, man. Come on.
We will be. I will have to fart every bit of transfer news we push out. We're like Arsenal now, so I have to milk it.
You're raging all the time, like fucking bottleneck, fucking Alpha little breakdown on the stream. Bottle grinders. Heads gone.
No, if we don't get grinders, I did a stream on when we failed to get words. If we don't get grinders, so if we can't even get a fucking 60 million played over the line, it all falls to club. Luke, you are the fake fan. How dare you be negative? Sorry, just what I've been told 10,000 times since 1 in 14. Bro, he should have been sacked halfway through that run. Van Aken got team of the season.
We have that manager, we have, but he's being stubborn. He's stubborn.
By the way, Pep Guardiola says in interviews, "I am stubborn." Why do people think he'll change? He says in interviews, "I'm a stubborn guy." This man could go out in the street and shoot someone and could be in court and say, "I shot that man." He could say in court, "I shot that man," and people would be like, "Oh, but I think he's got a chance to change this around. I think he's gonna turn it around. I think he'll raise this man from the dead." Mate.
There are certain creators, mate, that will take this stream, right, and put in their group chats and slander all three of us.
Fuck them.
For saying this stuff. No. Calling us out as fake fans. Mate, trust me, this happens quite a lot. This community, it's very two-faced. Most of us are like that. Most aren't. That's true, but some are. But these people, mate, if you generally sit and think everything's fine, then you're delusional. You are.
Bro, not even
I'm
everything
not
was
panicking.
fine when we were winning. When we were winning, this already was
Exactly.
happening.
it's
YouTube
got
is
worse
very
now.
two-faced. I think a lot of people don't realize YouTube is a very competitive area. Like, if you're technically thinking about it, I am competing with Luke. I am competing with Connect. They're competing with me. I'm competing with Patrick. Like if you're thinking about it like that, yeah. And a lot of people are just so obsessed with competing on YouTube. Like, we have to get bigger numbers and all that stuff. That they're so two-faced, so fake. A lot of people.
Who cares, bro? Who cares? You got.
Yeah, you know what,
If you got a chat that. Yeah.
You know what, yeah? I'll tell you one thing. I won't tell you who the fake ones are. I know a few of them, but I'll tell you who the real ones are. The most real, the most honest, the most legit Man City YouTuber content creator out there is LB. I've seen him go on an Arsenal fans channel in the treble season with 0 people in the chat. I've seen him come on. Well, he came onto my channel with 1 person in chat. 2 people in chat. This man goes everywhere to do his community service, and he does his own channel. He gives honest opinions, and he gives people the chance to come on. He hasn't done any calling shows in a while, but that's what he used to do.
He's on mine soon, by the way. I'm getting one post-season, so he's been talking about it for a while on his stream. They want to come on the podcast. Give it about start of June. Watch out for that. That'd be good. Yeah, Elby's a real one. He is. He's a real one. People don't like how he is, but he says how he feels, man. Because honestly, this is what we all do here. We're not doing PR bollocks for the club. Fuck the club. I'm not doing PR for anyone. If the club's doing well, I'll back the club. I'll do it all anyway. But the reality is, if the club isn't doing anything right that I don't agree with, as in tickets, for example, the ticket situation, I'll call them out on it. We all will. Because at the end of the day, right, I've got a platform for reasons, as do you two, and everyone else in the chat who's also a YouTuber, as a Liam. We will call things out when they're not right.
Yeah.
That's
If
what we're here to
115
do.
were guilty of it, mate, I'll club out for it. If 115 is and we're guilty, I'm calling the club out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will do it.
115 finding. If we had a guilt on 115, we might actually be free from this ownership. Because this ownership, they're turning us into Disneyland, bro. I'm not sure who are this year at the top of the club, but we are becoming Disneyland, you know.
Ferran Torriano, Caldoon, right? I like him, but I don't know, man. Recent years,
He's weird.
especially with what's going on. Yeah. Well, he doesn't know what's going on. He fucking well does. Piss off, he does. Like he knows what's going on with a ticket thing. What you think that Ferran doing stuff is back? Come on, man.
Do you
Come on,
think
mate.
that Caldoon has not noticed the protests going outside the grounds? He's at the stadium, by the way. He's almost always at the stadium.
Oh yeah, he's there a lot.
So do you think
By the way-
do you think he did not notice the protests?
But guys, in the chat, right? If we get 115, I'm doing a stream, free for all. Everyone get on with the rest of the club. I don't give a shit, man. Look, the reality is, right? I support the crest on the badge and the club for what it is, not the ownership and in charge of it, and also the manager. The manager ownership, whoever's in charge, will obviously, as fans, will obviously get behind it. They're honest, but in the end, we're fans of the club crest itself, and what the club means.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, but that's the thing, yeah. Honesty. Where the fuck is the honesty? O'Reilly is gonna play in midfield, they told us, if Rodri gets injured. He's not played a single Premier League game in midfield this season. He's played a few minutes in a FA Cup in midfield. That's the only time this season that he has been in midfield. We were promised that McAtee is gonna stay and he's gonna be a part of this squad. I forgot we had McAtee a little while ago. That's how long he hasn't played. McAtee, why do we even keep him? Asbrand is still outplayed, by the way. He's running out of a contract. He will be joining, who is it? I think he'll be joining the club he's currently at on a free, because he likes it there, and they like him. So we're losing players on a free. We're failing to adapt. We're just making all the same mistakes that we made last season. And we're doing that over and over and over and over. And it's so painful to watch, because when you can just see something unraveling before you, it's like watching a card rack. Yeah? You can just see it unraveling before you, and it's painful to watch. Like, what are you doing, bro? What are we doing? We have thrown away this season, and now by the way, this is my biggest pet peeve, and again, I know you two are going to disagree with me on this, but people say you can criticize the manager, but you can't sack him. Then all the criticism is worthless. Criticism that does not lead to punishment is worthless. If Pep Guardiola can be criticized and you can't sack him, then criticism is meaningless. If criticism does not lead to either improvement or sacking, there is no point in criticizing. If you can criticize a manager, it means you can sack them. Either you can't criticize them, or you can't sack them. Or you can sack them, sorry. And now I'll say another thing. Say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. That's a quote. I love that quote. It means if you don't want to be criticized, do nothing. You don't want to be criticized, do nothing. The moment you do anything, you open yourself up for criticism. So if you think Pep should not be criticized, well, that's wrong. And if you think Pep can be criticized, I think he can be sacked. If you can criticize someone, you can sack them due to the criticism that's mounting up. Now, whether you do decide to sack him, that's a different thing. But the moment a manager becomes criticizable, as every manager is in my opinion, they become sackable. Pep Guardiola has made multiple sackable offenses this season. Losing twice to Man United is sackable. Going 1 win in 14, that's sackable. Going trophyless, that's sackable. Spending 200 million in January and not utilizing the players, that's sackable. Making the same tactical mistake over and over, that's sackable. Failing to get Champions League round of 16, forget that quarter final, that's sackable. It's double sackable because he didn't get round of 16. All of these things here are sackable. The amount of sackable offenses is piling up. Making a mistake in the summer transfer window, sackable. What he's doing right now in this transfer window, sackable. Threatening the club with leaving, sackable. I don't know how many sackable offenses I've just listed, but I promise you, yeah, he's got more sackable offenses this season than he's got trophies in the fourth season, bro.
Up to judge, right? Order in the fucking right. Charge being able to get out. big long hair, gavel. Yeah, honestly, right. The last thing we need, mate, is him joking around. Yeah, sorry, right, but honestly, this season's been painful to watch. I don't give a shit. What we been before? No. Do you know what it is, right? When we were relegated, that was different back then. It was a different club. The club where we are now, it's been disgusting. Behind the scenes, the board that's on price of tickets, merchandise prices, fans fighting each other in the games, online, on YouTube, all that kind of stuff, all over YouTube. Players, injuries, players losing. Overall, it's been a complete clusterfuck. This has been the worst season I've ever seen. I don't give a shit. This is the worst season ever, but in the context of where we are as a club, and the landscape of the fan base, the media, all that encompass, is one of the worst ever. The worst.
We are the worst reigning Premier League champions in Premier League history, with the exception of Leicester, who was, by the way, relegation favourite when they won the Premier League. So,
Blackburn? Blackburn Rovers?
I didn't live then, it doesn't count. In my lifetime, at least. In my lifetime. Fuck Blackburn. In my lifetime, we are the worst Premier League champions, reigning Premier League champions. Again, excluding Leicester, but Leicester was relegation favourite when they won the Premier League. So that they massively overachieved anyhow, and they got comfortable mid-table, which before they won the league title, comfortable mid-table would have been overperforming for them. Before we won the fourth league, we won the treble, so I can't really make that argument, can you? It's the thing, yeah. After the treble, and I did not have YouTube then, I can back up what I say with video evidence for everything I've said this season. I did not have YouTube during the treble season, so unfortunately, I can't get any footage of me saying this, so you'll just have to take me on my word. But after the treble, I said, okay, Gundogan doesn't want to sign a one-year deal, get him out. I was happy when Gundogan left, because I said, okay, club made the right decision, great guy, but we can't give him a 2-year deal because that's too long. I said, okay, now go get Kyle Walker out, go get these old players out, go get in new ones, refresh. You just want to travel, refresh. That's what you do after the travel. We didn't. That's why we are where we're at. And well, again, not going to refresh. I tell you, yeah, people think Man United is going to stay where they are. Man United is going to quickly come up that table again. Next season, they'll be back 10th. The season after that, they'll be back in top 4. They are coming back around. People think Man United is just a relegation club now. They're not. They're still Man United. And we are going down the same route as Man United, but there's a difference. We don't have their history. We don't have their history, which means, and people don't like when I say that, but it's the truth. Here's another thing, yeah? If you're a Man City fan, being a true fan does not mean lying to yourself, yeah? I'm a Club Brugge fan. I'm not going to pretend that we're bigger than Anderlecht, because we're not. They have double the trophies we do. I'm a Man City fan. I'm not going to pretend to be bigger than Real Madrid. We're not. Just because something is the truth, but you're a fan of a club, doesn't mean it stops being the truth. The truth is not affected by your opinions. It's the truth, yeah. We are a smaller club than Man United, so they can get away a lot more with pushing that history. We can't do that. We have one generation of fans that's seen history of this club, that's seen winning history. All the other generations, relegation fodder. Meanwhile, every generation until now, Man United, champions, winning club, winning European trophies, winning FA Cups. It's such a different perspective here, and excuse me.
Yeah, no, it's just you can't compare where things are, right? Like where we are now, it's been unbelievable, it's been great. But if you want to keep at the level, you have to keep investing over in all facets, not just not just players and transfers, but overall. That relationship between the fans and the club, by the way, is probably one of the biggest things this season that's just been really disappointing to see. The one club that have treated the fans has been disgusting. Like, yeah, transfers are important. Yeah, playing well is important. The essence of the fan base in the club has never been this separate before, this divided before. It's crazy how bad it's
This
got
club
right
does not deserve its fan base. Like, I'm sorry. From a perspective of a continental fan, being a Club Brugge fan, I remember when the ticket prices went up, and was it 2018, and it was a 3-week protest, and then they lowered the ticket prices below what it was before as an apology. Imagine that. Imagine Man City did that, lowering the ticket prices to what they.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, are the fan base committed to, if next year they don't change, are they committed to going further than this year?
No.
Don't wrong. What they're doing protests like they've done with this year, significant protest numbers, and big up Nick, who might be in the chat. I was know Nick, obviously, big up the game 94, do respect what they do. Next year, if they don't change, you must up the ante. You must up it. No thing. Do a whole half if you have to. A whole half.
Whole game.
Do
a whole game. Leave the stands empty. And people are like, oh, bored players. Oh, fuck the players. Win a game. Go win a game, bro. I'm not paying all that money to go watch us lose, bro. How many games have we lost this season? 20?
9 in the league. And 11, about 15, I'd say. Overall?
I think it's around 15 to 20, something in that range. Which is ridiculous, yeah, because in the treble season we lost 3 games.
Brentford.
Twice.
Liverpool?
Yeah,
Liverpool, Brentford, yeah.
Yeah.
And then also Carabao Cup who was it?
Yeah,
was
but
it?
that doesn't count. It's not a real competition.
I want Carabao.
I'm joking.
Mate, next year, if you get the player in this, we could win the cup for me next year.
Carabao Cup and Champions League are our biggest chances of a trophy next year. I think Champions League we can just stink our way through our Champions League. I really think if we get a proper manager in, but that's the problem. We'll have Pep, bro. Pep Guardiola in Champions League, bro. And then people go to his Barcelona records. Congratulations, he had Messi. Congratulations.
And it was a while ago.
Bro, we got players like Marmoush, who for me has impressed me. Despite what, look, cut penalty, fine, but it's a penalty. I'm not going to go with that. It is what it is. Penalty stayed, whatever. But the fact you've got someone like Marmoush, man, and you're literally limited in what he can do. Goal scorer, he assists goals. He's probably one of our best players in the team.
Yeah.
He's such a dynamic player, and you're forcing him to pass the ball to. When you realise that even your own stubbornness and arrogance and hubris is costing the club its time to win trophies, when as a man,
I have a question for the both of you. Did you see Pep Guardiola's press conference after the FA Cup final?
I think I read some quotes. Yeah.
I'll drop a quote on you. I did not review the final. How are you not reviewing games? Pep Guardiola, people say Pep doesn't learn from his mistakes. You know why? He doesn't review the games. Every game, if you win a game, you review that game, and you look, why did my opponent lose? Why did I win? If you draw a game, you review, why did we fail to win? If we lose a game, you review, why did we lose, and why did they win? You have to always think from double perspective. Pep Guardiola not even being able to review a fucking final that he just lost, that is the most pathetic mentality I've ever seen. And I really don't care if you tell me, oh, he got a divorce. Guess what? People get divorced. And it's cruel to say it, yeah, but they still have to do their fucking job. And if he's here to do a job for us, do it properly.
Do you remember, right, when was it 17-18, he was doing a meeting, the players, he said, you won the league. I didn't. You won the league. He was properly bigging them up. I'm like, where's that Pep gone?
Yeah.
The mentality to keep going. I think it's gone, mate. But like, give him a chance. The thing is, mate, that should never go. Even when we didn't win the league in 1920, it was still there. He was still pushing them, despite obviously what. Because, mate, in that season, right, we weren't great. But Joe, what was right? We won a Carabao Cup and still played well despite injuries. We had a DM centre back with Otamendi, and we got 81 points. But it's pretty good, by the way. It's pretty good.
Roughly what Liverpool are now, isn't it?
People are like, oh, but no, dude, it was bad then. It wasn't great, but I'll be real with you, mate. At least we actually took up this year.
We went miles away that year from this year.
Yeah, well, wait, but you know why? Because De Bruyne carried us, mate. Kevin De Bruyne, one of the unbelievable seasons I've seen him have, in a shit season, in a shocking season.
Yeah, but Haaland could have carried us this season, but Pep Guardiola decided, you know what, be a lamppost. I don't want you be a lamppost. And I don't want you having any space in the box. I want you to get 3 centre backs on you. I will not put anyone in the box to help you. Enjoy yourself, Haaland. Erling Haaland is generally the most. He has the worst PR in world of football. This man would have won 2 Ballon d'Ors at this point if he was at Madrid.
If we go him, he's going to cook Haaland.
Yeah.
Honestly, the fans but trust Pep. I'm telling you right now, if we get Nagelsmann, you get instantly about giving managers time. Because you want it gives the club a real breath of fresh air. That's what we need. And I love Pep so much. But someone we've got to say, when is it time to move on from him? When is it time?
Yeah, and you know what? People say that Fergie is the greatest of all time, and I agree. He's still better than Pep, let's not be delusional. But something that people need to realize is, why did Alex Ferguson last for so many years? It's because he was not doing all the tactics.
He changed things up.
Yeah, but he also always had a secondary coach.
Yeah.
And Pep doesn't do that. Yeah, but he had multiple.
Pep needs someone to fucking argue with him. He needs Dino. Nothing good enough. Honestly, the mentality.
But will Dino argue with Pep?
I think out of any ex-players, I think he's probably someone that would be more likely to speak up and speak.
Kev would. Kev definitely would. Kev,
but that's why he's being fucked off. Kevin De Bruyne is being fucked off because he's talking back too much. Like, why is Kevin being fucked off and not Bernardo Silva and Gundogan? Because he talks back too much, that's why. Pep Guardiola's ego can't stand that, bro.
I think, look, the thing is, right, I tell you, right, if after fan makes this question, right, a lot of them will stop each other rather than actually answer the question. They would. Because a lot of his family is very vitriolic right now. Anger, fight, like, trust me, there's
But
a lot
that
of people
makes
in this
sense.
that are-
That's because the club is moving this way.
Yeah. I'm sick of it though. I'm bored of it. I'm bored of just. Do you know what it is? I'm bored of just the whole atmosphere around the club right now.
Yeah.
I'm bored of it. It's apathy. I've got apathy now. I'm like, oh, great. I love the club, right? I always love the club, right? We all will. But I need the atmosphere to change. I need the club to be serious to turn it around. Otherwise, this go on.
No, go on, finish.
Next season will be the same or worse. By the way, right now.
Yeah, unless we
Probably
sack Pep.
worse.
Unless we sack Pep. I've been saying, man, I've been saying for a while now, and I don't want to beat I told you so. I fucking hope next season Pep Guardiola turns it around. But here's my honest thought, yeah? Here's my honest fucking thought. Pep Guardiola will not, cannot turn it around. He simply cannot. He is not capable enough. You know why I say that, yeah? Because he's too mentally tired. He's too done. He has nothing to prove. This club, he has nothing to prove to us. 4 beats, never done before. Okay, great. What is he gonna do that's never been done before?
He's done it all, mate, and big up to him. He's just done it all, big up to you. But he should have gone last season, being real.
Yeah.
He should have gone on the high. Because I don't want Pep going out next season, mate, on a negative. I don't see him going like that. I hate it. How Kev's going out right now on a shit season? It ain't good enough, mate. Should have the high.
He will leave on a negative, though.
Trophy.
This is how it wanged in, wanged out era. You remember? Well,
Yeah, it is. It actually is. You're right. It is. It's turning into that.
You remember
So
Arsenal fans?
that means you're Lee Gunner. I'm Claude. Next to be someone else. Like just like
I'm Lee Gunner.
ranting on.
My headline, bro, my headline cannot stand being Lee Gunner. You see this head, I cannot be Lee Gunner.
Yeah, get some beer on the stream. Just start rambling on the same things. These legends behind me. Just start doing that constantly, and then we're turning into AFTV. This is where it's going, mate. This
I'll
cycle
have to-
is going.
I'll put Colin Bell. Francis Lieber.
Colin Bell, Summer B, legends behind me, A1 stuff in the 70s. I wasn't there, but oh mate,
Who is that Summer B guy? I don't know.
hey, this is honestly, mate. Next season, mate, I'm gonna tell you right now. Let's change the mate. It's gonna be a real shocking, awful season, worse than this year. Where it's
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. Everyone in the Premier League is only going to improve next season, or at least the bulk of it. Some teams will probably get poached, like I think Bournemouth and Forest might be in trouble. But
And we're haggling around 10 million euros on a player we fucking need.
The
exactly.
relegation teams are about to get better, by the way.
Yeah.
They're not going to be that bad again.
Yeah, like at least 70, like at least 3/4 of the Premier League is going to improve next season, and we need to be in that. You know?
But we won't.
Look, please, City, prove us wrong. Please, I want to be clowned on. I want to be clowned. I want to be proven wrong. I would love it. I'm like, hell yeah, thanks for proving me wrong. But at the moment, I'm like, I'm not seeing any movement from this club, right? To otherwise, really not. Yeah, Ryan is a good signing. We can get him in, but we need more than that as well.
Yeah.
This club, yeah, you know what we're doing at this point? Yeah, you know what this club is doing at this point? It's just like... It's just going around and around. You know, a roundabout. Instead of going off out fucking lane, we're just going around it. We just keep going around the roundabout. You know when you're with your drunk uncle, and you're like 10 years old, and he's going like around the roundabout, that's what we're doing, bruv. We're taking the piss. We're not trying.
Driving the car. Alf, fucking stop it!
I'm the annoyed model.
Alf's like,
I'm the annoyed model in the passenger seats.
Just get on now. So I'll ask my AI to draw that. Let's try to see how that would look. It's fucking funny. And now I'm doing a show.
We will use that. We will use that thumbnail. We will do that. We will do that at some point.
Drunk uncle at it again. Fucking hell.
You know what, as well?
Oh.
I see a lot of people who are saying that Pep will potentially leave at the end or this summer or at the end of next season. Do you think Pep walks? Do you think Pep Guardiola has the balls to say I'm out and to walk away?
I think he does. You know? I think he does.
Nah.
I don't think Pep is ever gonna walk, because you know what his legacy will be if he walks?
Go on.
His legacy will be the guy who ran away, because that's what they remembered him as at Barcelona. Why did Pep Guardiola so desperately want to build his legacy somewhere else than Barca? Because at Barcelona he's remembered as the guy who ran away. I was talking with a Barcelona fan yesterday, and I asked him what he thought of Pep, and he said, yeah, I like him, but that's it. They don't think of him as the greatest of all time, because he's the guy who ran away when they needed him, and was replaced by a guy who won them Centurions, their first ever 100-point season.
Who was it? Was it Villanova, wasn't it? It was Villanova after Pep won that, I think.
It was Nova.
Yeah.
Villanova, yeah. Then it was Rico, yeah.
Yeah, and then Enrique came after and won the treble.
Yeah. Oh.
But by the way, Enrique, if he wins the treble again this season, it's actually a quadruple. If he wins that this season, he becomes the second manager to win two quadruples or two trebles after Pep. So there are other managers who can do it.
And this is the thing, right? We love Pep for what he's done for his club. He's done amazing things.
Yeah.
And trust me, no one on this panel will ever forget how good Pep's done it for his club. But the problem is, we don't want Pep to go out on a fucking horrible way. We don't. I'd rather him go out on a blaze of glory than this. Go next season, right? Is a scenario. If we somehow win the league next year, let's say we get players through the door, the right ones for we actually need, and we win the league next year. I want them to leave. Then they'll go out on a high. Yeah.
You know what the
Because
problem is
I
though?
think-
Because now it makes sense to say that. You know what people will say when we get there? Because now if you say that to people, they'll agree. But when we are actually there, people will say, oh, he turned it around, he still got it. That's what people will do. That's what people will do.
No.
Because people are afraid to commit to something.
I still think KDB going was the right thing, by the way. And this sounds might sound crazy, but this is why I'm saying it. I watched him in that final, right? The legs have gone. And it's not his fault. He's been played so much, and the injuries have caught up to him. It's how we replace that kind of player with the squad around him, with the squad that will define that. You aren't ever going to replace De Bruyne. You never will.
Yeah.
But 10 years at this club has been amazing. I wish he went out on a high, rather than this fucking embarrassing season that's been endure. But I do think it's the right time for him to go. I'd rather him be going to a club like Napoli, where he's going to actually have a fresh start and be given a bit more or less. I think Premier League, he's done Premier League now. He's bossed it. He's done it all.
Yeah.
You want some breaking news, by the way?
Go on.
Bayer Leverkusen are going to sign Erik ten Hag.
Well, you know what, right? Watch him do well there. Watch him do well.
He very well may. Because I don't think he's as bad a manager as people make him out to be.
Neither is Amorim, by the way. Do you know what the issue is? That club is a
No.
fucking
Amorim is at Man United right now. I need to talk to you about Amorim. He's at Man United. I got my agenda to keep up.
No, but that's what I'm saying, though, right? Amorim isn't that bad. He isn't. The
No,
problem
agree.
is,
I don't think he's bad.
the club is a disgusting mess. You got
Yes.
people getting laid off, mate, because of that idiot in charge.
Yeah.
At club, mate, it's funny to watch them fall down, mate, but not everyone leaving their jobs. That's terrible.
I know that.
Because-
How many people did they lay off? Like 48?
200 people a day.
200.
It's
Half of 1.1k. Now it's like
It's just a sinking ship over there. It's a sinking ship, and they've got a swamp already there. They're sinking into their own swamp. We'll join them soon enough, and Manchester will be a joke. at least our stadium isn't breaking down yet.
No.
Anyhow, I think we'll leave it there. It there. Because we've gone on a few generational rants here. Anything else anyone wants to say?
Get Rangers
Well-
in, sign the players you want, and don't mess around with over 10 mil.
Well, I want to say one thing though. Big up everyone for the support on this show. It's grown and grown and grown. It might not be getting the numbers that other people get, but this will only be bigger and bigger next season. And you know this channel Alf's got is going to get better and better next year as well. As Connect, mine hopefully as well. Trust me, we do this show because you guys tune in. And that's what we want to do it for. Like, I'm not doing this to, get some PR on my own channel. Like, I do it anyway. It's already fun as it is. But we do it because we're City fans that have different opinions, but want to have a chat about it, and in a way that we aren't being horrible to each other. That's what I'm here for. I can't bother with that. Like, life is bigger than people being arseholes to each other. But to everyone who's been supporting this season on all channels, big up to you all. You've been great. It's been a shit season. It's been terrible. Let's hope this summer we please be serious, please, of some kind. And give us
Hoping
something to
against
celebrate. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
gosh.
But more importantly, thank you everyone for the support this year.
Yeah.
We appreciate it, man. We do appreciate it.
Yeah. Big up to Luke. Go check out his own channel. He's only here for the PR for his channel anyhow. Big up to Connect.
Exactly.
Big up to everyone in chat, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Alf great in chat, by the way. Alf great in chat because we're grading Liam. We'll see you guys soon.